Welcome into Rover Sports, and we are officially off and running here on Twitter and on Periscope, and this video is also going to be up on my YouTube channel. So I want everybody to roll on in to our show, and we can go ahead and this is pretty much like an answer anything sort of questionnaire for you guys. I'm going to provide, what I think is going to happen in week 1 of the NFL season. I'm going to look at the lines, and I'm also going to talk to you guys about maybe your team's questions. I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. And I just kind of want to be here on Twitter just to kind of provide some people with, just my personal opinions and takes on some things going on around the NFL. And right now I am going to go ahead and open up my Twitter feed. I know that I'm going to give you guys some time to roll into our show here. And I will look at this here as I answer some questions. I'm going to actually go and I'm going to pull up the lines right now for week 1 of the National Football League schedule. So I'm going to have this on tap, and I think that tomorrow night is really where we're going to start this thing off, and that is going to be with Chiefs-Patriots tomorrow evening. I'm going to pull up the rosters, and I don't know about you guys, but to tell you the truth, I am not overly excited for this game. Are you guys excited for Chiefs-Patriots? I know we have football that's back, and I guess I'm excited about the game from a fantasy perspective, I'm excited about the football game, but I think that New England is going to win the game outright. If Alex Smith can't beat the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, there is no freaking way that he's going to go into New England and beat Bill Belichick, especially when it seems like the opening team in professional football, it seems like they always win that matchup, right, guys? Like, it just seems like New England is easily going to win. It's going to be a boring, low-scoring game. One of my predictions is I think that it's going to be a dead, low-scoring affair tomorrow night in Foxborough, New England, and I think that the Patriots are going to beat the Chiefs. Alex Smith is still going to start the whole year, but I'm not convinced that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to make a playoff spot. I'm really just not convinced on that front, when you look at Kansas City. A lot of people rolling in right now. I'm going to go ahead and look at the line. The line has moved pretty much to like a 9-point spread. But I am going to probably stay away from that spread, and I am going to take the Kansas City. I would probably lean Kansas City in that spot tomorrow night. And now we're going to bounce around to other parts of the NFL, especially Sunday football. We wish everybody in Florida has a fine recovery from what should be, a tough weekend with the hurricane. So we want to put that out there. Atlanta getting 7, Atlanta 7-point favorites over the Chicago Bears. Look, I like the Chicago defense, okay? I like Akeem Hicks. I like Eddie Goldman. I really like the Chicago Bears defense. I'm going to even rattle off some names for you on that Chicago Bears defense. I think that this is a trap game for Atlanta. Steve Sarkisian's first game calling plays. I think that the Chicago Bears are actually going to fare pretty well in this game. I don't know if I could pick them to win outright, but I think people treat Mike Glennon like shit, and it's kind of unwarranted because the guy's never really played before. Oakland +3. Yeah, that's pretty unbelievable. Is the line really going up so that Oakland's a 3-point favorite there against Tennessee? I like the over in that game, but I'll tell you what, Delaney Walker is going to slice and dice that, Oakland secondary. Tywan Taylor, will Corey Davis be playing? Oakland has almost no defensive secondary at all. I mean, Sean Smith, I'm not a fan of Sean Smith at all. And just looking at their defense, defense. I mean, you have David Amerson, Sean Smith, Reggie Nelson. Carl Joseph can't play coverage. I mean, this defense is really going to struggle. And Oakland won a lot of close games. I don't know if Oakland's going back to the playoffs now, but getting 3 points against Tennessee, everybody is on Tennessee this offseason. They are the darling of the offseason. And to tell you the truth, I don't know if I am completely on board with the Tennessee Titans as much as everybody else thinks. So I'm not going to pull the trigger on that game. The game that I'll just get into the games I like. I like Cleveland +9. All right. I love Greg Williams' defenses. I love Greg Williams, especially the first couple weeks of the season. Greg Williams has a very, very good defense to start off the year. And I know Myles Garrett is hurt, and everybody's going to be talking about that, and everybody's going to clue into one football player. But the Steelers suck at the beginning of the year. I went to a game last year between the Steelers and the Eagles back when Carson Wentz was just getting his feet wet in the NFL. Steelers lost that game 31-3 and flat out sucked. They take time to warm up. You'll remember that game they played in New England a couple of years ago when the Patriots won the Super Bowl. Steelers take time to get going, to get into the regular season. They're like Le'Veon Bell. They're slow, and then they start and finish fast. So I love Cleveland. Cleveland can win this game outright, okay? DeShone Kizer is a hell of a quarterback. He could be like Cam Newton. It's not the old days where rookie quarterbacks suck when they hit the NFL field, okay? Cam Newton was great his rookie year. Robert Griffin was great his rookie season. So, this is 9 points. This is money in the bank. The Browns might win this sucker outright, all right? Like Jason McCourty, Jabril Peppers will be starting for them. Jamie Collins is a hell of a player. Emmanuel Ogbah will take up, the spot. They have a deep, deep defensive line, and Greg Williams runs his players into the fucking ground in the offseason. That's what Greg Williams does, okay? He doesn't prepare for the second half of the season. If you watch what happened last year, right? What happens Rams-Seahawks with Greg Williams? The Seahawks lost to the Rams 6-3, and that's because Greg Williams over-prepares his guys in the first couple of years or the first couple of games. They shoot their load early, and they're going to shoot the load this week against the Steelers, okay? Baltimore-Cincy, boring football game between two teams that'll either go 9-7 and 10-6, sneak in. If Baltimore sneaks in, they have a quarterback and a head coach that can make noise. Andy Dalton ain't making any noise. I mean, Marvin Lewis is the most mediocre head coach in football right now, so I could see Lewis getting canned this year, and that's just kind of an unwatchable game, really boring football game, Baltimore and Cincy. Sorry if you're a fan of those two teams. All right, Arizona and Detroit. This is an intriguing game. Arizona continues to get the push. I like Arizona a lot. Their roster is awesome, okay? Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, Honey Badger. This defense is going to be nice. Hassan Reddick, Dansby. I love Arizona to make the playoffs this year. Carson Palmer bounces back, okay? I'll take Arizona in this one over the Detroit Lions. I think the Lions are pretenders. Matt Stafford getting way overpaid. Way too much money for Matt Stafford, okay? Okay, he led a couple of comebacks. What did he do when he went to Seattle? He sucked when it mattered in the playoffs. Jets and Buffalo Bills. Intriguing game. Intrigued to see if Bryce Petty's going to get any time. He probably won't. Jets will suck with Josh McCown. Bills easily here. The -9. Who gives a shit? Okay, Tyrod Taylor's not a great quarterback. Doesn't matter. Jets have no O-line, no offense at all. Even though the Bills want to cut everybody in, on their football team, they're still going to win this game. Okay, the Jets suck. Houston again versus Jacksonville. Another pick I love. I'm not a Blake Bortles fan. Sorry to our guy, UCF Jaguar. I think that the Jags are going to get slaughtered in Houston. No way will Blake Bortles hang on board. Hell no. He sucks. Bet against Blake Bortles while you can. He is atrocious. Scott Tolzien is pretty freaking atrocious, right, guys? And he's going into Los Angeles. Who knows if Aaron Donald's going to be playing at all? A lot of people have the Colts being awful this year, and I am the one that actually thinks that the Colts will be an okay football team. I don't trust Jared Goff as much as I did a couple of weeks ago. He's inconsistent. I'm not in love with Jared Goff. I love their head coach, just I'm not a Jared Goff fan. That brings us to Seattle and Green Bay. This will be a heck of a test. I know Green Bay slaughtered Seattle a couple of years ago. I remember this was a 4:15 game. I like it on 4:25. I don't need it at night, okay? I love this football game. The country's going to be watching, and it's all right. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not a big Seattle fan. And I think that they're a damn good football team, though. They're nasty up front. Bennett, Sheldon Richardson, they are going to easily win the NFC West. They're going to be favorites for the Super Bowl again, as much as it pains to say it. They are a cocky team that you love or you hate. And just looking at KJ Wright, looking at guys like Bobby Wagner, this team is downright freaking nasty. You know, with Chris Richard on defense, Cliff Averill, Jaron Reed, Thomas, Chancellor, and Sherman, of course, the Legion of Boom. Do I see them beating Green Bay? I have no idea. Aaron Rodgers at home, guys. Oh, boy. Just stay away and enjoy the game. If I had to pick one side, probably Green Bay. Then Carolina, San Francisco, a little lean towards Carolina. Carolina's my team. You know, I love Carolina. I love Christian McCaffrey, Luke Kuechly, you know, Greg Olsen, Kelvin Benjamin. Their offense is going to be sensational, guys. They're going to come out of that. That NFC South is fucking loaded. How about New Orleans? New Orleans is a darling this year. New Orleans, their defense is tight, New Orleans. So I really like the Saints, guys, versus Minnesota. If you guys have any other selections as well, let me know and join this podcast. But I look right now at Carolina. I fucking love Cam Newton, love Curtis Samuel. They are a really, really, really good football team. And listen, San Fran has some players, okay? Their defense is loaded. I love Reuben Foster. Maybe he'll win Rookie of the Year. Navarro Bowman. So, yeah. You think that San Francisco is going to upset Carolina. I'm not in love with this game because Hoyer can play okay. Pierre Garçon. I'm not in love. I like Carolina overall. I think Carolina is going to win this game because Carolina's defense is going to stop Brian Hoyer. Carlos Hyde isn't going to get anywhere. You really think that San Francisco is going to score enough points to beat the Carolina Panthers? I just don't see it. I really don't. Their defense is nice, okay? Rashard Robinson, your corners are not nice. Everybody else on the team is good. Jimmy Ward and Eric Reed are good. Eli Harold, Solomon Thomas and Armstead and Buckner. Okay, you guys have a wonderful, wonderful defense with Saleh, who I really like, Rob Saleh. But your offense is just going to be awful. I'm sorry. I just don't like Brian Hoyer enough. I'm a big fan of Carolina. Not one of my locks, though. My lock, New York Football Giants. Who gives a shit that Ezekiel Elliott is playing? Okay? The New York Giants defense doesn't care that Ezekiel Elliott is playing in this football game one iota. Doesn't matter at all, okay? Des Bryant going against Janoris Jenkins. Jenkins will shut him down. He will completely take away his soul like he has the last couple of games. Des Bryant can't do shit against Janoris Jenkins. What does he have? One catch? Yeah, if Odell's playing okay, the Giants will score 28 points, but they're still going to score 21 points, and Dallas won't even hit 14. This New York Giants defense is unbelievable, okay? Their offense sucks. Their coaches, I'm not a fan of Ben McAdoo at all, and their offensive line with Bobby Hart, Jerry, and Eric Flowers. Eric Flowers is a bad player, and so is Hart, and so is their running game. It's non-existent, and Eli can't carry a team. Okay, but the Giants are going to score 21 points, all right? Dallas has horrible secondary guys, and you really think the Giants are lacking? They have Brandon Marshall, who could be a number one receiver, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram as a weapon out of Ole Miss. If you watch any Ole Miss games, you know how good Evan Ingram could be. They are going to find a way to get in the end zone a little bit. So the Giants are winning this sucker outright. And in fact, I like it better that Zeke is playing, so now Cowboys fans won't have a built-in excuse if they lose this game. I like it. Everybody will say, well, Zeke was hurt and we had Darren McFadden. Well, guess what? If the Giants win this game, zero excuses, 3 games in a row. So I like the Giants to win, and I think that their team's pretty good. If the Giants win this game, they will be 2-0, and then the Giants will lose to the Eagles week 3. There's no way that the Giants are going in and beating the Eagles. They never do. Eagles-Redskins. Tough game to predict. Toss-up game. Will Kirk Cousins play hot? Will Carson Wentz be good? I'm not completely sold on Carson Wentz. The people who do my radio show, they love Carson Wentz. People in the city of Philadelphia love the guy. I'm just a little lukewarm on him, to tell you the truth, okay? I think Carson's okay. I think Alshon Jeffrey is not as developed as people want to believe. I don't think he's going to be a star. Do I think Derek Barnett is going to be a star? Nah. This Eagles team is, it's okay. Doug Peterson is the definition of, he's okay. That's the definition of Dougie, all right? The Redskins, they're a mess. Their owner's a mess. They're retiring players left and right. Their quarterback's in, and the Redskins are the kid that can't swim but puts his foot in the water and then basically doesn't know whether he should get in the pool or get out of the pool. That's the Washington Redskins. They're one of the most dysfunctional organizations in all of sports. How am I supposed to know how Terrell Pryor's going to play? How am I supposed to know whether Josh Doxson is going to play well? And see you Kai 26. That's a great question. Do I think Terrell Pryor is going to be a star? It's all up for interpretation. My interpretation would be yes. One, because he left Cleveland, right? And Cleveland, of course you'll leave Cleveland like Bill Belichick, right? But I look at Terrell Pryor, and the guy is, 6'4". He's only played receiver for a couple of years. I think he's going to be a fantasy breakout star there. Kirk Cousins is a pretty good player at delivering him the football. I think that Terrell Pryor, I really think that he's going to get it going. But will he get it going this week? Will he get it going against Ronald Darby? Maybe. The Eagles don't have good corners, that's for sure. The Eagles' corners aren't that good. I like Terrell Pryor, though. I think the guy has tons of upside. I think he's a hard worker, confident individual. And guess what also helps? Josh Norman goes against Terrell Pryor every single day in practice. So, yes, I think that TP can be a good player. Now, you look at the Redskins coaching staff, right? And do you love Jay Gruden? Are you in love with their new coordinator? What is it, Kavanaugh? Let me find out the Redskins offensive coordinator, because I know Sean McVay left. That's going to be a big deal. Josh Doxson, most people forgot he was even drafted in the first round. There's zero expectation around Josh Doxson, okay? It is Kavanaugh. It's Matt Kavanaugh. So there's zero expectation around Josh Doxson. Jordan Reed could be spectacular or be injured. This whole Redskins team is a what if, and they're going to be 7-9, 8-8. But will they beat the Eagles? I have the Eagles 31-27. As much as it pains to say that. Probably the Eagles will win this game, sneak out there to win. I like New Orleans. New Orleans going on the road to Minnesota. Low scoring game. 48 is way too many points. So I really like the New Orleans Saints. And Denver and Los Angeles. Let's see if San Diego. I love the talent that the Chargers have. So let's see if the Chargers can win this one. Although Denver's getting a push right now from Vegas. So good games. I like Monday Night Football. I like 2 games of Monday Night Football. Really do. And I think it's going to be a hell of a slate. I like the slate. And then Miami and Tampa, they're going to play again in Week 11. It's weird that they have a bye going on in Week 1. It's kind of unfortunate, but that is kind of the way that it goes. You guys want me to do a little college? Anybody have any fantasy questions that they want to get to? You guys are welcome to shoot questions my way, as this is also Rover Sports on Twitter. It's at Rover-Sports. You can follow that right now. You can follow it all the time. I'm going to post a couple of videos coming up. We had our show on ESPN Radio in Philadelphia on 6:10 a.m. that we recorded tonight. I'm probably going to set that thing off tomorrow, and I'm also going to include a UCF Jag segment as well. Hello, how are you guys? Welcome into our show. I'm going to do a little college football because I have a little idea about college college football. I really do enjoy college. I know some of you might not enjoy college as much as professional football, and we'll see. I like Michigan. Michigan looked fantastic. Cincinnati's getting 35. That's crazy, but a couple of college picks before I jet out of here, guys. Who to start on fantasy? Good question. Isaiah Crowell or Hunt? Listen, I think that you look at Isaiah Crowell, right? You look at the Crow, and he's going up against Pittsburgh. So that's a tough call. I like Kareem Hunt. I like the rookie going on the road in Foxborough. They're probably going to run the football. So that's a great question. Great question. You know what? Final answer, CU. Final answer, I'm going with the Crow because the rookie quarterback in the opening game, right? What are they going to try to do? Keep it away from Big Ben. They're going to play. They're going to it's Deshaun Kaiser's first game, right? So I definitely lean Crowell. I think New England will be prepared for both. I love Hunt most of the season, right? But Cleveland has a good offensive line. I'll go with the Crow because what are they going to do with Deshaun Kaiser? They're going to run the football a lot. So I would definitely go with the Crow in that game. He could be okay. Now, you look at the depth chart, and Hunt's going to be a much better player because you got Duke Johnson in the mix there, who's going to take a lot of snaps from Crow. So, later on, the Kareem Hunt pick was a great pick. I don't know when you got him, but, you should start him versus the Eagles. That's a pretty good damn decision to have. You must have good running backs there if you need to, either start the Crow or start Kareem Hunt, if I'm saying his name even correctly. That's a damn good problem to have. I don't even have that caliber of wide receiver as well. Alrighty, guys. So looking here at the lines for college football real quick, you guys can continue to fire in questions. I will continue to answer. My favorite games this week, I like Notre Dame versus Georgia. I like Notre Dame to smash Georgia. I also like Oregon. 14 points. They have to cover 14. Nebraska's getting 14 on the road, but Nebraska's defense let up what was 500 yards to Arkansas State. Wait till Freeman, the running back from Oregon, and Justin Herbert. Wait till these guys get a hold of this Nebraska defense. It could be a long, long day. South Carolina and Mizzou, that game's going over 63. These guys are big-time scorers of the football. And look at this. Ohio State's getting a push against Oklahoma. They're 7.5 now. I like Auburn to cover against Clemson. I think Auburn's a damn good football team, okay? Dontavius Russell, Marlon Davidson, Carlton Davis, Deshaun Davis. They have a really, really good defense there with Kevin Steele. And Jarrett Stidham's going to help out a significant bit. So got some good interviews, guys. Got some interviews with Jet Central and UCF Jaguar. Appreciate everybody hopping into the show, supporting the channel and everything. I'll be hopping on Twitter and, just live streaming with you guys all the freaking time. So thank you so much for coming in. You can replay this podcast whenever you'd like, and we'll see you. All right, thanks.